Welcome back to the Moonflower Show.
Hi guys.
What's up?
It's
How is it going?
Show.
Hope you're all well.
Yeah, me too. Same.
It's a little late in the evening, also known as night for us.
It's nighttime.
Nighttime. Nighttime is the right time to tune into the Moonflower Show while we ask some questions from this book called If.
Yes. We're doing another sort of lighthearted episode after our intense discussions of the past couple. I was actually listening back to a couple of episodes recently as I was working on stuff for the channel, like the YouTube channel, and I listened to our French fries episode all the way through. One of my more favorite episodes. It was super fun.
Yeah. That was a good episode for sure.
Yeah. So we're going to be playing a bit of a game on this episode.
Yes. We're going to be playing a game. We have this book here called If, subtitle Questions for the Game of Life, and it's just a book full of interesting questions that are designed to be able to, like, you know, you can like ask them if you're sitting at the dinner table, or if you want to like get to know your significant other or a friend, or you want to play it at a party. So the way that we're going to play this is we are going to roll a random number generator for the page number, and then we're going to roll a second die to determine the question number on the page that we're going to ask, and we're going to go back and forth and ask each other some questions and get the live reactions for you all this evening.
Yeah, it's just got some like funny hypothetical questions in here. It's very like would you rather kind of vibes.
Yeah. But it's all pre-generated, so we don't have to stumble over our own thoughts trying to come up with questions for each other. Yeah.
But before we get into it, I did kind of want to tell the story of like why I even own this book.
Oh yeah,
because it's really cute.
Aww.
So like, I mean, I guess it's not much of a story, but I don't know. I remember it fondly. It was mine and Winter's one of our first like dates. After we had started, we became official as a couple, and it was near the holidays, and we were both getting ready to go home for the holidays because we were both we were still living in Binghamton, and we were getting ready to go home, so we wouldn't get to see each other for a couple weeks, and we exchanged Christmas gifts, and this is what Winter got me, is this book called If, ... Questions for the Game of Life by Evelyn McFarlane and James Saywell. Really cute little book. We had fun with it so far. Answered a couple questions over dinner that night, and I got Winter a little watering can.
Yes.
Because I had noticed you were watering your plants with your water bottle.
Yes, I was so touched. Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. I personally have a list of things that I want. There might be maybe like a couple dozen items on that list, but I try to be very discretionary in terms of the things that I want, which I think makes it hard to shop for me sometimes, unless you like literally can see the list. So usually if people ask me what I want for my birthday, I'll just give them the list. But you didn't ask like what I wanted for like Christmas or anything like that. But you just knew. You like knew by like just looking at my daily habits, and you were able to infer that that's something that I wanted.
Well, yeah.
I was so happy.
And even if you hadn't, like, thought about getting a watering can, I was like, oh, Winter would probably enjoy using a watering can instead of a water bottle.
I was really touched. Do you remember what you wrote on the little note that was attached to the watering can?
Not exactly, no.
You said, "Our love will grow."
Oh, yeah. I'm so sweet.
I have the little tag. I have a box of, like, sentimental stuff, and I kept the tag from that.
Aw. Yeah. I'm so sweet.
Do you remember what I wrote on this?
No.
So, I thought that I had inscribed this with, like, a little thing to Colin, but I guess I hadn't. Maybe my thinking at the time was like, oh gosh, if we break up, I want him to, like, be able to, like, keep this book. But I think I gave you a little note, and I said in it, I was like, thank you for helping me play more.
Aww.
Because it's like a little game. It's like a game book.
Because
you're a gamer.
This is getting real sappy.
Well, we hope you love it. And if you don't love it, that's too bad. You still have to listen to it.
Exactly.
Okay.
These questions might get weird.
Yeah, they might get weird. They might get funky.
Potentially sexual.
Ooh, okay. I think that we have... Let's say that we each have 3 vetoes.
Vetoes? Okay.
Vetoes, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see if we need to adjust that. I think if we really are uncomfortable with
of course.
a question, we won't have to answer
don't
it.
have to
Release
our information
to the public. I don't think this one is super sexual. There's a sequel. This isn't sponsored.
There's a couple hot and heavy questions in here.
Oh, really?
I've read through it.
Then I'm curious. So this one is just supposed to be like a normal one, but then they made a sequel that's like for like love questions. Mm-hmm. And if this one is a little saucy, I'd be curious to see what the other one is.
Let me take a sip of my 9:30 p.m. iced coffee before we begin. All right. Oh, yeah. And we don't know how many questions we're going to do. We're just going to keep going until we feel like we've got enough content for this episode.
Yeah.
But
you know how we are about creating content.
Oh, my God. Don't you just love content?
Yum.
We have selected each from the book a special, super secret, curated question that we selected out of the whole book.
Super secret.
I
guess we should do that at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will begin by generating the first randomly selected question out of the 129 pages. We're going to page 31.
Yes. Oh, so
I'm asking yes, and this is my question to you. I don't know should we both answer, or I think I don't know.
Unless it's really interesting. I think we can let's both answer.
Okay, sure.
Let's both answer, but we'll take turns reading them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And did you do that? 1 through 4?
Oh, yeah. Let's generate number 4.
Number 4. If you could see only one movie ever again, what would it be?
What?
Oh, man, that's a tricky one.
Oh, only one movie?
Yeah.
It's gotta be a good one, then.
Uh-huh. Oh, man. I'm between a couple.
If I can only see one movie?
Like, what's a movie that's just, like... you could watch it over and over, and it's got a bunch of layers, and, like... makes you feel good or thoughtful. Or
yeah.
Just a beautiful movie.
I think I would pick The Little Prince.
That's such a good one.
Or maybe I should pick one that I haven't seen yet, so that I could watch.
No, that's such a risk. Because then you could only... What if you like it?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I would pick The Little Prince.
The Little Prince. So, if I had to just pick one movie that I couldn't watch any other movies forever, I think I might have to go with WALL-E. And that's because WALL-E is like a movie about like this really beautiful journey in like a post-apocalyptic setting. And I would want to have a movie that, like, I don't know, could make me feel like I was going on a journey even when things are like barren and just like the same.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I like that. WALL-E's a good one.
Yeah.
Of course you would pick WALL-E.
Oh my god, that's such a good movie.
You obviously like identify with WALL-E a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Eve.
I thought we said the other way around.
Oh, right. Well, the thing is, I think that I'm smarter than you.
Damn! We're moving on.
Okay, wait. No, you know what I mean. I think
nope.
if we look at intelligence holistically, I think that we're about the same and that we have our different strengths, but I think I'm book smarter than you. You knew that I thought that.
Yes. But you said it in a very mean way, and we're moving on.
No,
okay.
Eve is just book smart, but WALL-E has street smarts.
Oh my god. Page number 117.
Oh my gosh, this is supposed to be a bonding exercise.
Generate the 1 through 4 number.
Oh my gosh. You heard it here first, Moonflowers.
been
Colin is a
insulted.
meanie.
Wait, did I just pick did we just randomly generate the exact question?
No, this says question 3.
Yeah, 117. Wasn't that the page number and question that you had selected?
It was question 4 originally.
For your super secret one?
Oh, what?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh, we totally just selected it. Oh, this is awkward because the question is
we have to pick a different one.
No!
Wait, we're gonna ask this one anyway. We're gonna save this one for the end.
Okay, we'll do it at the end.
Oh man, this has been a
chaotic
disaster.
episode.
This has been a recording disaster so far. Page 74.
Page 74. Question 2.
And you're the one.
Oh right, I'm the one doing
asking me.
Page 74. This
Even
is page 31.
You have to flip to the page, Winter.
I thought you were gonna do the heavy lifting.
Oh my god.
Okay, question
It's a
74.
book. You know how books work.
I've been reading a lot recently. My arms
I'm
are
so
tired.
book smart, says the person who doesn't know how to flip pages.
I did something dumb earlier. I forget what I even did. I think I like wasn't paying attention to what he was saying, and I said, "You'll have to excuse me. My head is full of facts."
Oh my god.
74, page 2. If you had to cast living actors to play each of the people with you right now in a new film, who would you choose to play each person? I think that you have to pick somebody for me, yourself, and Rose.
Oh my god.
There is somebody who I have in mind who I would want to play me in like any film. Yes.
I'm really bad with actors and like
Okay. Do you this isn't a quiz, but do you want a hint of who I'm thinking of?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
You know what? I'll take it.
Yeah, that one's
I'll
you.
take it. I'll take it.
And I am the Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, clearly.
Or fucking Matthew Gray Goobler.
Oh my gosh. That would be the romance of the century, wouldn't it?
Wait, which one? Robert Downey Jr. or Matthew Gray Goobler?
Well, both.
Well, okay, so everybody in the entire world, at least 30 different people in my life, individually have told me that I look like Matthew Gray Goobler, who plays Spencer Reed on Criminal Minds.
And he's like the Matthew Gray Goobler. Is that his name? I can never get it
Matthew
right.
Gray Goobler.
He's a model, and I think Colin should model. So let us know in the comments if you agree or if you're dumb.
This episode has been full of both sappy romance and absolute tension.
That's what you get for drinking coffee at 9 p.m.
Oh man.
Rose. Play Rose. You can pick a human actor. I don't know any like cat actors off the top of my head. You could select somebody who had a role in Cats.
Kristen Stewart.
Okay, actually, you're so right. She'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Okay, so we're Leonardo DiCaprio, Matthew Gray Goobler, and Kristen Stewart in the film of the century.
Wow. I actually love that. I like how Kristen Stewart like wouldn't even be.
Oh, she's like wearing cat ears. She's like meow.
Okay, I actually think that her acting has gotten like much better like over the course of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think
this is not an insult to Kristen Stewart.
She's become really in my opinion, an accomplished actress, but her early acting, I'm just thinking of like the blinking and Rose just like blinking at you.
Our Winter's cat Rose is an absolute like. She has the personality of like a moody teenager.
She does, and it like never stops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Maybe we could do an episode on how my cat is a moody teenager.
I would love an episode about Rose and like just stories about Rose.
That actually, I think we could do that.
Look forward to it, Moonflowers.
Yeah, look forward to it.
All right. Oh wait, are you going to answer the question?
Yes,
too?
I am, because there's somebody who I would want to play me in any movie, and he's kind of an up and coming person. He's not that famous yet. So if you're out there, Theo Germain,
looking him up.
You know it. I want you to play me in a movie if that is ever a thing. He was in The Politician.
Oh yes, this friend.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is your energy.
Yeah, look it up. You'll understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For you...
Oh, that's literally you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a picture of you for a second.
Oh, really? No, you're kidding.
It's very your style.
Yeah. It really is.
The outfit.
Yes. I also would want to be portrayed by an actor who is my gender. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, he is the only actor with my gender who I know, but I also think he would do a great job.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about me?
See, I was going to say Matthew Gray Gubler for you. Can I pick Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
instead?
sure. You have to pick a different one for Rose, though.
I do have to pick a different one for Rose.
Even though Kristen Stewart is the obvious answer.
Yes, you're right. Who is like an edgy teenage girl? Or who could be like typecast as that? Mm-hmm. What actresses do I even know?
It's tough. I'm so bad with like actors and actresses. If you
is
can't...
Betty White still alive?
It's like a 50-50 shot. I think she is. I think Betty White is kind
Betty
of...
White. I want Betty White to play Rose. I feel like Rose, it like does act like a moody teenage girl, but she also has the staunch, like elderly woman energy that like I think that we all want to exude at some point in our lives.
She has like the I don't give a fuck energy of an elderly woman.
Yes, that is shared by teenagers and elderly women.
Especially when she's like sitting there and she like slowly turns her head to look at you. Like...
Yeah.
All right. Let us generate a new...
Yes, generate a new question.
I
hope that wasn't a cop-out for me to pick Robert Downey Jr.
No. I mean, we're on a schedule here.
You know who you are? You're Matthew Gray Gubler, but with Robert Downey Jr.'s hair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Page 39.
Okay, let me generate a number.
Yeah.
Question 1.
Do your job, Winter.
You're being so mean to me right now.
That's one stupid. If you were to be the personal valet of any one man or woman from history, who would you want to work for? Valet?
Valet?
I don't want to be a valet.
So I just drive their car around?
Yeah, I guess you could pick someone a really nice car. We could skip this one if you want.
A valet? No. For any person in history?
Any person in history.
Any person in history. You know?
I know.
I would want to be a personal valet for a woman pirate when piracy was a problem in like the 1700s. And I would just want to like talk to her and be like, girl, like, what's going on? Like, can you please tell me your life story?
I thought it meant a specific person, but...
Oh. Well, I'm sure that there's specific historical women pirates. Queen Tuta of Illyria.
So your answer is Queen Tuta?
Yeah, Queen Tuta. Why not?
I would want to be a valet for like Nelson Mandela or something, you know?
Yeah.
Someone just like super cool and beloved and just like doing important work. Like, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like pirates were doing important work.
No, of course, yeah, but...
Okay, and don't get me wrong, I'll talk about that later if you want me to. Like, I'm not saying that we should all go around stealing each other's stuff, but I think that, like, the social structure that pirates were starting to embody was actually, like, really transformative, and, like, I haven't done a lot of research into it, but I would be really curious to see if that, like, influenced, like, democracy, like, later on.
Well, we went to a museum about it.
Yeah, we did, and I learned a little bit, but I should really do some more research. But that's why I would want to talk to one of these women, because I would want to be like, hey, like, what's up? Give me the rundown, you know?
I kind of thought you said a pirate just so you could get to sail the boat instead of drive them around in a car. Because I don't know what you'd be doing as a valet in the 1700s.
Yes, wait. Well, no. I mean, this is a hypothetical question. I can do what I want.
I know.
But I also love the idea of being like a personal boat valet. Like, I like row them in the rowboat to shore.
Yeah. All right.
Like, do the little key fob on the boat. Whoop, whoop. It's just like a wooden rowboat.
Glub, glub.
Funny.
Right. We generate a question. You ask. Page 104.
Okay, page 104. Once again, you have not done the heavy lifting for me. Page 104. Question.
I'm gonna...
What?
I'm gonna answer this question that you ask.
2. If you could change the ending of any book ever written, which one would you pick and how would you change it?
Change the ending of the book of that is written.
Change the ending of the book that is written?
This is a terrible question for me because I haven't read many books.
Really?
Not that many. And one that I would change the ending to.
Yeah. I don't know that I would want to change any endings.
I don't know. Maybe skip this one.
You know?
Unless you have an answer.
Okay. But I have, like, such a cop-out answer.
Okay.
But...
Sure.
If I ever had a biography, an autobiography or a biography...
You're coming up with the most convoluted answers.
I would want to, like, have the ending of it changed just to mess with people.
Oh, like a false ending to your own autobiography?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I don't know. It depends, like, how my story ends, you know?
That'd be really cool if, like,
Yeah.
like a biography was published about you that, like, said that you'd passed away, but you were really, like, hiding somewhere in secret.
Yeah. Or...
Off the grid.
If I had, like, a biography and I, like, die peacefully in my sleep or something...
Or, like...
Then I just come up with, like, a super epic, like, way to go out.
Or, like, that you're still out there traveling the world.
Yeah. And here it says Winter died fighting a tiger. Just for kicks. Huh, interesting.
I'm skipping that question because I don't read.
Yeah, you do read, just not very often.
Page 124.
And question number 2. Yeah, hurry up, Colin.
I'm doing it. I'm flipping these pages. Question 2?
Mm-hmm.
If you could teach your mate to do one thing, what would it be?
Am I your mate?
Does it mean my mate, like my partner, like my romantic partner, or like my mate, like, hey, mate?
I think it's partner. It's gotta be partner.
If I could teach you to do one thing, what would it be? Probably play, like, complicated ass board games or video games so that I could have somebody to play with all the time.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Either that or to ski, but I probably can do that. And this is like a if you could.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I would enjoy the process of learning to ski, but I don't think I would enjoy the process of learning all of the board games that you would want me to learn just so that we could, like, play it whenever. See, I like playing board games and stuff. My issue is that when I'm doing something fun, I get so exhausted by the time I'm ready to play. You know, like, because I work before I play. By the time I'm ready to play, I'm usually very tired. And so learning something new, especially something complicated, is not usually very enticing to me. And this is why I play Kirby Star Allies, a game for babies.
And yet you still throw yourself off a cliff 50 times.
I do.
I think you psych yourself out.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
I think the fear of learning something new makes it more exhausting.
Yeah, well then it's still exhausting, so why would I do it?
I'm just saying it doesn't have to be.
I will learn new things. I just like to do it at a time when I'm awake and I can enjoy it.
Well, I guess you should answer this question for me.
Oh yeah, if I could teach you to do any one thing, what would it be? I would teach you...
Don't give me that look.
Look, I would teach you to think about your schedule and your calendar in a very similar way to me.
No thanks.
The question is if I could teach you to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to
see, and I can't teach you that because you don't want to learn, which is probably good because I think it keeps our relationship balanced. But sometimes I'm like just wishing that you would like look at your to-do list and like do the things on it in like an orderly fashion, aka how I would do it.
No, I throw a proverbial dart at the to-do list, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this now.
See, that just stresses me out. But I know it's just part of who you are, and I have to accept that. But this question just hypothetically says if I could change one thing, and that's what I would change.
It's you could teach.
Yeah, but I could teach you.
Yeah.
I could teach you to do that.
You could teach me.
Yeah.
You could teach me.
I could teach you.
Page 96.
Page 96. You know I'm kidding. You can do things your own way, right? Okay.
I know.
Yeah, okay, good.
I know. I'm an independent little moonflower.
Yes. Question 2. If you had to name the most important invention in history, what would win?
Most important invention?
Yeah.
Does fire count?
I don't think we invented fire. I think we discovered fire.
That's true.
We invented tools to make fire.
Yeah, but I don't think that would count. Or that I don't think that would be my answer. Most important tool.
Most important invention.
Or invention. Probably. What about like language or like written language? Does that count?
Let's look up what an invention is. I think it counts.
I don't want to keep Googling shit.
I'm Googling
My
it.
answer is written language. The act of inventing something.
Typically a process or device. And I would say that language is both of those things. So yeah, language for sure counts.
Okay. My answer is written language.
Yeah. Okay. What would my answer to this be?
Good question.
If you had to name the most important invention in history, what would win? That's a really weird phrasing of that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
There's a picture of a wheel right here. I feel like that's leading me.
Is it the wheel? Is it?
I don't think that the wheel is the most important.
I'm telling you what the book is like. The book is like...
Oh, you're... Yeah. Elbowing me.
I bet it's the wheel,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I actually don't think it's the wheel. I think the most important invention would have to be, like, some kind of, like, basic tool. Like, I think maybe, like, I don't know what, like, names for, like, basic tools are that, like, the pre-humans, like, made and like, helped them, like, evolve and, like, start building things. But I think that would be the most important because it, like, set into process, like, everything that got us here.
Well, there's different tools.
Yeah,
like
but... but they didn't have, like, advanced tools. They were just like, yes, a rock that I can make into a slightly different shaped rock.
Right, but then different rocks were used for different things. They had blunt rocks for hitting things and, like hammering things, and then they had sharp rocks for cutting things.
Yeah. Can I just generally say that the most important inventions are, like, the early, like, tools?
You gotta pick one.
I have to pick one? Well, I don't know what they would be called.
Invention. You can't hold up a rock and be like, I invented the hammer.
Well, no, because they would like, well, if you're gonna argue that, then, like, is anything invented? Because, all we have came from, like, some guy being like, there's a blunt rock here, I can use this to, like, make another rock into a different shape also.
Do you ever think about that? Do you ever look at your computer and be like, how did we get to this point?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Like, how did people make that, you know?
The computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there were some really gifted individuals who, like, came up with the, like, processes to, like, make computer hardware. Mm-hmm. And then similar process for the internet. But now that we have, like, all we have like really amazing like computers, like physical like hardware.
Yeah.
And we have amazing like tools to like build new things that have to do with like computers. And we have the internet, which can like teach us how to use those tools and how to use the like physical computers. And so at this point, like it's like explosive, you know, because more and more people can learn about it. But I think what was really challenging was making them in the first place.
Yeah. I mean,
but I also think that humans have a propensity to like make shit. I think we can't control it. I think I think humans make things compulsively.
so
I think it's evolutionarily.
What do you
like,
think
in our
that
brains.
humans? What do you think the humans made that was the best thing?
I think that some guy like pre-humans, I don't even know what they're called, but I think he like held up a rock, was like ugh, and then like slammed it against another rock, and it made like a wedge shape or something.
Okay, so
and that was the best tool.
The wedge.
I guess the wedge in conjunction with all the other things.
So you're saying,
I don't know what the kinds of tools were, but I think
you ever learn about the different kinds of simple machines in like elementary school?
I don't remember anything that I learned in elementary school.
The inclined plane, the wedge, the pulley.
I don't remember anything I learned in elementary school.
All right, moving on. Question 80, question 4.
Question 4.
Great. If you had to cancel 1 month of the year forevermore.
Oh my god.
So that period of time no longer existed, which month would go?
Are you asking me? You are asking me, aren't you?
No, I was kind of just going to do this one myself. I think this is a solo podcast.
No. Oh my gosh, shots fired. I think I would cancel. Okay. With all the modern like use of the word cancel, I'm imagining like we regret to inform you that March has caused a lot of harm to people.
You're still...
And we have to remove it from its platform.
You're still observing March on the calendar? Like, didn't you hear what it did?
Shouldn't you unfollow them?
Yeah.
But with that in mind, I think that we should cancel March. Because March has done nothing but harm.
Okay, so we'll give reasons.
Okay. Winter... Okay, so first of all, I should give context that I was born and raised in the Northeast, and I still live in the Northeast. Winter always is a little too long up here. It's always a little too long. Christmas is very pretty. The start of the season is very pretty, and we get snow, and it's nice, and it's, you know, it's very beautiful. But come like February, March, and like February you have Valentine's Day, so it's like, that's nice. March, what do we have? St. Patrick's Day, a bunch of drunk people just running around in the streets, causing trouble and ruckus. Like, I don't know. I'm not here for it. There's no good holidays. Everything turns to mud and slush. Like, it's not March showers bring April flowers. The showers are supposed to come in April. Why are they coming in March? I don't know. And then sometimes it's also snow, and it's just cold and miserable and wet, and we're just waiting for spring, and it's like, why don't we just get rid of the whole thing altogether?
Yeah.
It's a nothing month. It's a nothing month.
Yep. I was having this conversation actually pretty recently with some people.
Really?
Yeah, over Discord, and I came to a very similar conclusion that either like February or March, because for the same reasons that it's like I'm getting sick of the winter time, and like it's no longer pretty and like novel and like fun.
Yeah.
And it's cold and miserable, and there's no good holidays.
Yeah.
Like Valentine's Day, it can be fun if you like, you know, if you have a good idea for it.
Yeah, even when I was single, for Valentine's Day, I would like treat myself. I would like get like a massage and like get some nice food and stuff. And I would like I would still make it a day about love, you know, and I would like show appreciation for like my friends and stuff, and like show appreciation for myself. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's a fun holiday. Yeah.
And then St. Patrick's Day is like the American bastardization of St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my gosh, and Binghamton St. Patrick's Day?
It's just a Okay, so
It's
like
a mess.
I liked St. Patrick's Day as a kid, right? Because my family would always go to like parades and stuff.
It's true.
That was super fun.
I never did that growing up, but I know in New York City it's big.
Or I mean, I was on Long Island.
Oh, okay. We didn't really have that in Connecticut either.
Oh yeah, they were all over the place on Long Island, and there's a lot of Irish descent in like Long Island, New York area.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people with like bagpipes and like marching bands. But also the rowdy bar crawl crowd.
Yep.
And as I've grown past the days of appreciating parades for little children, I have grown pretty indifferent towards St. Patrick's Day. Like, I don't need a special day to go out to the bars, you know?
Yeah, I also heard, and don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure that St. Patrick, the reason we celebrate St. Patrick's Day is because he, like, expelled, like, all the snakes from Ireland.
Yeah,
but actually, that's probably a metaphor for getting all the pagans out of Ireland. Which is, like, why are we making anybody of any religious preference or practice, why are we perhaps celebrating the demise of that? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't want to, like, get all controversial here about St. Patrick's Day.
I've never heard that, but I would believe it if it was true. Yeah.
Okay, what do you think? Do you think that there were actually just a bunch of snakes in Ireland?
Well, I don't fucking know.
I'm just saying, don't quote me on that, do your own research, but I heard that. So, maybe look it up. Look it up. Mm-hmm. But if you like St. Patrick's Day, it's okay.
So
not here to rain on anybody's St. Patrick's Day parade.
I'm getting this close, making this a solo podcast.
What? No, you wouldn't know how to do it.
Page 35.
I'm getting there. 35. Generate question.
You're on thin ice today.
Oh my gosh! Just because I made one pun about a St. Patrick's Day parade. Question 4. Page 35. Mm-hmm. If you were kidnapped and you could only bring along one personal possession, what would you take?
Does this have to be something I already own?
It just says one personal possession.
If I was kidnapped and I could take one personal possession, does it have to be something I own already?
Are we setting that rule?
Yeah.
I'm going to say no, because it doesn't say something you own.
A gun.
One person. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's my answer too. Or I guess...
If it's not something I own, or if it has something to be something I own, probably my sword.
Yeah,
or something to defend myself.
Yeah.
Or like a cell phone.
Yes. Yeah, if it's not a gun, I might not even take a cell phone. I know that there's like pieces of jewelry now that will like send like a location and like broadcast your location.
Life alert.
Okay, it's not life alert. It's like just for regular people. You can get like a bracelet and you can like share your GPS coordinates with your friends and family if you're ever in a tough, and it's discreet. Discreet.
I mean, Life Alert's not a bad choice either.
Life Alert's not a bad choice, but I would want to look stylish while I was getting kidnapped.
There's an alert about my life being in danger. I think Life Alert's very appropriate in that situation.
Yes. Yeah, I'll show you later. But it's basically Life Alert, but it's like prettier.
Okay.
And it's more, I think, designed for young people who maybe have to like walk around alone at night or something. Yeah. Gotcha. As opposed to like folks who are in danger of like falling and like
you need medical assistance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like this question is phrased as if like you have to resign yourself to be like staying kidnapped and you have to get to bring along something sentimental.
It's like phrased as if you're going to a deserted island.
Yeah.
You were kidnapped.
Somebody captured you. Like, what kind of sentimental item would you bring along?
Yeah, some of these are like phrased really funnily.
That's funny.
Okay, generate me a new number, please.
Well, I get to answer the question.
Oh, right, of course.
Now. It was 36. The next page.
Nice. And the question will be number 4.
If you have Well, we kind of just answered this one. If you have to, or I guess this is a little different. If you had to eliminate one season, see, that's tough.
That is tough. Because permanently, oh man.
Because they all have great qualities.
Yeah,
you know?
I enjoy all of them. You know?
Yeah.
I think summer. I know that's such a hot take, but like... Oh.
You know what? I would probably say spring.
Really?
Yeah.
But like, don't you love just the trees like just starting to come out in blossom and like watching the wildlife emerge?
Well, like, just be in summer when it already has emerged.
Yeah, but then it's like 90 degrees and you're dying.
Just go to the beach.
Just go to the beach.
Drink some water. Drink some water.
Colin, it's too hot. Go to the beach. Drink some water.
It's gonna be me as a parent. Go to the beach.
Oh my gosh. When I was a camp counselor, we were taught, I think this was like part of our training, where if kids were complaining about the heat, we were not supposed to like indulge them. We were supposed to say like, oh, it's too hot, like you should be drinking some water, because apparently like that was like a good way to like prevent like heat exhaustion. Like if the kid is complaining that it's too hot, like they should probably be staying hydrated, right? Mm-hmm. And then if it was like above a certain temperature, we would just have everybody get in the pool. But apparently this became like such like a trope that like we had like song, skit, and dance day like periodically in the summer, and some of the kids made a song that was like a parody of all the camp counselors telling them to drink water.
That's incredible. Oh my god, I love it. Like, I love situations where like you encourage kids to like make playful fun.
Yes.
Of the adults and the rules and stuff. We had that at like my high school. We had like an event like that where you make skits, and they would always impersonate the teachers.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was really funny. It was like really clever. They did like a parody of what's that one by Bruno Mars? It was like too hot, hot damn. Except instead of that, they were like too hot, drink water. Like camp counselor anthem.
Clever.
Because I couldn't say damn anyway. Mm-hmm.
So your answer was summer. My answer was spring for eliminating
I
this
guess
season.
summer. I know that's so controversial. I don't think there's a good answer to this.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. Generate me a number, baby.
Page 78.
78, huh? Okay, and the number of the question will be 2.
2.
If you had to eat in only one restaurant for the rest of your life, which one would you choose?
These questions make me sad.
Yeah. We're not even getting any of the saucy ones.
Well, there's only so many.
There's a saucy one on the page next to this
There's
one.
129 pages in this book. Only one restaurant? Well, I'm tempted to pick a restaurant that has a lot of different food options, but usually the less focused you are like on individual kinds of food in your menu, the worse the food becomes in general.
Yes.
So I might have to resign myself to just eating one kind of food.
Really good food, though.
Like sushi is a great choice. Like, you can never go wrong with sushi.
Yeah?
But pizza. Yeah, maybe like a really good like Italian, but that's so many carbs forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would just have to pick like a really good sushi place. I don't know anyone specifically.
Yeah.
But you get variety. You get like decently healthy food.
That's true. You know? I think for me, it would be a specific diner called the Traveler's Bookstore. Have you ever been there?
No, but a diner does sound like a good choice.
Yeah. And the Traveler's Bookstore, my family used to go there when we were on our way up to Boston or on our way back. And you get a free book whenever you get a meal there. Like, and there's just like books.
What?
Like that people like donate like old books and stuff. Like instead of bringing them to Goodwill, you would just bring them to the Travelers bookstore, so they have like endless books. Some of the nicer ones, actually, I think they sell all of them, and you can go in and like buy a book.
This is the greatest concept I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. I'll take you there one day if you want.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's just like a nice vibe. And they have good French fries. And it's not that their food is particularly good. Like, it's good. It's diner food, you know?
That's just a vibe, though.
Yeah, but I would really be upset if I couldn't go there anymore. If I couldn't go there anymore.
That's such a vibe.
Yeah.
Good answer, babe.
Thanks.
My turn.
Yes.
Page 117. Oh my god, this is the same page again with your secret question.
It's question 2 this time now.
Okay, I will cover the other ones. If you could go back in time just long enough to tell the founding fathers of America one thing, what would you tell them or warn them of?
Oh god, how do I say this honestly without offending every single person who listens to this? To warn them of.
Tell them one thing.
Okay, are we going for practicality here, or am I just going to tell them that they should not own slaves? Okay, I'm going to tell them 2 things.
That's my answer.
I'm sorry. Slavery is bad, dipshits.
Well, yeah. You have to wonder if they're forced to listen to it.
Right, yeah. I'm trying to think, okay, what could I get through to them that would actually, like, make a lasting impact on our day-to-day lives? Yeah, I would say...
Be nice to the Native Americans?
Yeah, jeez.
You can tell them a lot of different things.
I know. I'm just trying to think from a practicality standpoint what I could even say. Like, be careful. People are going to interpret this document as gospel for the next, like, 300 years plus. Wait. 200-something years plus? It hasn't been 300 years. Isn't that wild? We're such a young country.
Oh, my God.
That's wild. It's less than 300 years ago.
Yeah.
That's
like
super...
a few generations.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, our grandparents' grandparents were probably alive during the Civil War. Isn't that weird?
Yes.
Or they could have been alive, I think.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my final answer would be... Oh boy. I think I would tell them, because I think they would hear this, I think that I would say, like, the Constitution is going to be interpreted as gospel, like, for the next at least 200 years.
That's a good answer.
Like, please be mindful of that. The future is very different. Like, please maybe just include something that says that you want this to change, if that's what you want, you know? Just be careful, because, like, things change so much over the next couple hundred years in ways that you can't even imagine right now. But people will still look at this document that you're writing as the truth. Mm-hmm. So please be very careful what you write, you know? I don't know if I think they would hear that message. I like to think that they would. But then I would also end it with a stop owning slaves, dipshits.
That's kind of two things, but
yeah.
because it is so important.
So if I'm riding in there...
You get to tack it up.
If I'm riding in there on my time-traveling motorcycle, I would, like, screech to a halt and be like, listen, guys, like, you gotta be careful. The future's really whack. This document, people are gonna interpret it, like, all kinds of funky ways, so just keep that in mind, okay? And then as I'm speeding away, I just also say, slavery is bad, dipshits, and then I zap back to the future.
I'd see that movie.
Oh, yeah?
Good answer.
Actually, I think I would, like, explicitly tell them that there will be a war in 100 years. Sorry, I'm, like, taking this back. I think I would tell them that there will be a war over slavery and that they shouldn't wait. That they should include something in the Constitution that makes everybody equal.
Yeah.
Right away, off the bat. Even if it's going to be controversial. Because they thought about it. I think they did. Well, maybe they didn't because they owned slaves, but...
I don't know.
I don't know if they would hear that, though, you know?
Yeah. That's what the hardest part of this question is for me. Is like, how can you make an impact? And I think that the answer that you gave actually is like something that would make an impact.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It would make an impact, though, only if they were willing to listen to it. Which is why I wouldn't say something more radical in that situation, I think. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I was just going to say, don't own slaves, be nice to the Native Americans, and don't form a two-party political system.
Oh, yes, that's true.
George Washington already tried that.
Yeah.
Tried to warn them about that.
Yeah.
And they did it anyway, so I would probably fall upon deaf ears.
Yeah.
If I was a time traveler.
Yeah, I feel like based on how I look, I would fall upon deaf ears by default if I was a time traveler.
I don't know.
I mean, like, women weren't a part of government.
But you look like you're from the future.
That's true.
If somebody came from the fucking future, I don't know.
Yeah.
If I could confirm that somebody had come from the future, I think I would listen to them. But then there's also the possibility that, like, oh, what if they're from the future, but they're lying to us?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd probably be a little skeptical.
Yeah. How do we convince the founding fathers that we actually are, like, have the interests of people in mind? Like, of all people in mind, though. I don't know.
I don't want to spend too long on this question.
Yeah.
We'd probably,
seeing as we will never use the answer.
We probably would end up accomplishing nothing in any case.
Oh, are you're doing the heavy lifting for me now? Turning the pages? Wow. So good to me.
I'm just shaking. Moonflowers, just so you know, I'm shaking my head at winter.
He's shaking his head in disappointment. Okay, generate 1.
Winter's off the rail tonight.
Oh my goodness, you are just being absolutely cruel to me. I'm smiling. You can't see it, but I am. Okay, page 52, question 1. If you could have been the architect of any one building in history, which building would you choose?
The architect.
The architect. I wonder if that means we get to change how it's designed.
I don't know.
Or if it's just that we were the ones who designed it as is.
The Louvre.
The Louvre?
Yeah, the Louvre.
The Louvre?
Yeah, big triangle.
I know the one. I've been there.
You've been to the Louvre?
I've been to the Louvre!
I didn't know that.
I've been to the Louvre.
Sick.
You know I went to Paris.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know you, like, went to the Louvre, though. You were
Yeah,
looking
it
at
was,
art
well,
as
it was
like
a whole tour. It's like, what are you going to do in Paris? We saw the Eiffel Tower and we saw the Louvre. I'm sure there's other things that are escaping me right now, but yeah, it was like a tourist experience.
That's a cool building, though.
It was really wonderful. I didn't understand how the Louvre was like designed at first. For folks who might not know, there's like a little tiny piece of it that's above ground, and then you go in and like a lot of it is like below ground.
Yeah.
And so everybody was so excited to go to the Louvre. It's like this beautiful, amazing museum, right? But I didn't know how it was designed. I don't know, I guess I must have lived under a rock. But we get there and I just see this like tiny little glass thing and I'm like, that's it? That's the Louvre? We're supposed to spend 3 hours here? And they're like, no, like go inside. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was just absolutely wonderful.
I like underground spaces a whole lot. So.
Oh yeah? What are you, you're like a little groundhog?
So what would your answer be, Winter? If you could be the architect of any one building in history.
Any one building in history, which building would you choose? History. See, what I'd like to answer here is my future house. But that's not history, that's future.
History in the making.
Yeah.
No, it has to be like
I know it has to be history, like
it has to be. A history.
A history.
It has to be history.
Any one building in history. I would want to be the architect of
the
I would want to be the architect. I would want to be the architect of Stonehenge.
Oh.
So I could see what happened.
I think it's arguable whether that counts as a building or not.
Oh,
but
I guess it isn't a building.
But
let's Google building.
Stop Googling things.
Building.
This is
a structure with a roof and walls. Okay, so Stonehenge is not a building. Although maybe it used to be a building. You
can have your answer be Stonehenge because it's very mysterious and everybody would be like, ooh.
Well, I just want answers about Stonehenge.
Who done it?
I'm curious.
You'd have the answers.
Exactly. If I was the architect,
it would have been you.
Then I would have known, and then I would have the answers.
So you're saying Stonehenge because you don't like that you don't know.
Right. I want to know how it was built and what it was for.
But it would have just been you. You would know, and then it wouldn't be a mystery.
I don't like that it's a mystery.
Would you keep it a secret from people?
It depends what it is.
It would have been you. If you had made Stonehenge...
So you're saying I get to decide right now what Stonehenge was for?
If you were the architect, yes!
So are you saying hypothetically if I was the architect of Stonehenge, what would I have made Stonehenge for?
No, that wasn't the question. But I'm saying if you were the architect of Stonehenge, you wouldn't have been like, oh, I wonder what it's for. Because you're the one making it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm really curious about Stonehenge.
Right, but then you would never have known the real answer.
Oh, wait. So you're saying that if I was the architect of Stonehenge, I wouldn't even be here now asking that question. And there would be no point in me solving it. Oh, you're so right.
But I mean, that does eliminate the mystery, and if you don't like the fact that you don't know,
right,
so you could just eliminate the mystery altogether.
What I want is a mystery that I solve and knew that it was once a mystery.
Yeah,
but I guess that wouldn't happen.
But Stonehenge is a good answer.
But if I was the architect of Stonehenge, maybe everybody else wouldn't know what it was for, and I would know.
That's why I asked, are you going to keep it a secret?
I would also be several thousand years old.
That'd be pretty dope.
Well, it depends what it was for, if I would keep it a secret. If aliens commissioned me to make Stonehenge...
See, that would be cool.
Then I don't think I would tell anybody. I think it was cause
What if aliens commissioned you, but they didn't tell you what it was for? Then there would still be a mystery.
Yeah. I think I would tell people, though. I think I would tell people because
then I'd be like,
what if you
had to sign, like, an NDA?
With the aliens?
Yeah.
Well, they'd better be paying me a lot of money.
They probably would. They'd probably pay you, like, space doubloons.
Space doubloons? What am I going to do with the space doubloons? I don't know. This hypothetical is going off the rails.
Probably, like, pay you in oogulite.
Oogulite?
Some foreign, distant galaxian.
Oogulite?
It's intergalactic currency. Don't question me.
This episode is ridiculous.
Isn't they all?
Isn't all the episodes?
It's really late,
redonkulous.
Guys. Please forgive me.
Wow, it's 2021 and I just said redonkulous.
Page 34. Question 2. If you could adopt one personality trait from someone you know, what would you take and from whom?
One personality trait from somebody that I know? Somebody I know personally?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Who do I, like, really admire personally? Like, I would say that I admire my friends. But you ever just meet those people and you're like, wow, they're so cool.
Starstruck.
Yes, like, starstruck with an individual. Who am I, like, starstruck with? I can't even think. I can't even think of anybody that I'm, like, starstruck with right now.
Well, think about what kind of personality traits that you would want to emulate from people that you know.
Well, I would want to take somebody's confidence. I would want to adopt somebody's confidence. And, like, self-assuredness. So I'm trying to think of people who I know who are like that.
I know one guy.
I know you're like that.
No, I wasn't talking about me.
Who?
Come on.
Who? Who are you talking about?
There's a man we know that if confidence was edible, he could end world hunger.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's got to be the man, the myth, and the legend, James Jonah Windus, of course. But the thing is, I don't think I want his confidence.
No,
his brand of confidence is like, it's too strong. Like, that's like saying I want alcohol and somebody's pouring me a bottle of Everclear.
like it's like a water cooler of Everclear.
Yeah. I don't know if I need that. Yeah, I guess I would just want like genuine confidence. You know what I would want? Okay, my one of my dear friends, I don't even know, I'm just gonna share his first name. One of my dear friends, Peter, is, how do I describe this? It's like a confidence and a genuine interest in other people that makes him like a really charming person. And I would want that. I've always just really like admired that about him.
Very cool.
Yeah. And I think that there is like a little element of like starstruck with that like aspect of his personality for sure. Like, he's the kind of person, you know this, but for our listeners, like, he's the kind of person who will like immediately after meeting you, like, figure out a way to get you to talk about like what you're interested in. And like, he will be genuinely like interested in what you're saying and just like be so gracious. Like, I don't know of a single human who's like ever felt awkward around him, you know? You know? Like, I think what it is that he puts people at ease and he makes them feel like interesting and valuable. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Good answer. That's a really great quality to have in like a friend. You know? Makes you a great friend, I think.
Yes. I think I could stand to be more like that.
I pick you.
What? You pick me?
Yeah.
Now I feel bad for not picking you.
You don't have to feel bad.
Okay, I don't feel bad.
I think I would want your I think you're a visionary.
What?
I think you
Tell me one of my visions, because I don't know any.
I think even like with the Moonflower Show, right?
Yeah.
You can see a future in things. You can like picture a clear future in things and like work towards it.
Yeah.
And like be driven to achieve the future that you can picture.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm working towards a goal, I'm like, I don't even know what this is going to end up like. My processes go one step at a time. And like it can cause me to become anxious and frustrated about what the end result is going to be.
Oh, because you're a task person, but you're detail oriented, and I'm a task person, but I'm deadline oriented.
Wait, I can be a task person that is detail oriented?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It often is very paralyzing, because if you get hung up on details, then sometimes people who are like very like people who are very detail oriented want to get it right, so that rather than get it wrong, they don't try.
Yes.
Not that that's what you're doing, but that's like a pattern in this like particular like type of person who like does things in this way.
I would like to be more task oriented without having to sacrifice my detail orientedness, because I do value that. Because I think it makes me very patient and I like to get things right. But I also don't like to be paralyzed by being afraid of getting things wrong.
Yes.
So, yeah, I guess vision, decisiveness.
You think I'm decisive.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Thank you.
Of course, baby. Page 43.
Page 43. How about we do one more of this one, and then we'll do our final one.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Oh my gosh, we're so in sync.
Quack.
Quack. If you watch ASDF,
I've always called it Asdif movie.
You know what we're talking about.
That's an internet classic.
Yes, it really is. Either you watched the ASDF movies, or you didn't.
Or you're normal.
Yeah. Page 43, question number 1. If you were to eat the same meal for the rest of your life...
Okay, can we skip this one?
Okay.
We did the restaurant.
Okay, pick a new page number.
26.
Oh, I don't think I actually answered the restaurant one, did I?
You know.
I said Traveler's Center.
You had a really good answer, actually.
Thank you. Page 26, question 3.
You know, I think I would like to do... If we ever, like... I wouldn't mind coming back to this again, doing another episode like this, where we just do a sequel.
This could be really fun. This could be, like, part of a series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, page 26, question 3. If you had to choose the most... Oh my gosh, I can't read. Here we go. Take 2. If you had to choose the single most valuable thing you ever learned, what would it be?
Oh gosh, that's a toughie. The single most valuable thing... that it's okay to fail.
Wow.
Because it took me some time to learn that, and for a long time I thought it wasn't okay to fail, and that I was so worse off for it. And then I think my perspective on life really changed when I absorbed that it was okay to fail.
Yeah. I feel like I'm trying to internalize that right now, which is hard because I'm in grad school. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's okay to fail, but it might cost me, you know?
Our education system does not really promote that message.
No, and you know, can I go on like a mini tangent here? So in one of my classes right now, we're learning about like mastery-based learning as opposed to grade-based learning. And the idea with mastery-based learning is that you work towards mastery, and we're learning about it in the context of high school, so you work towards mastery for whatever subjects or skills that your high school deems appropriate for you to need to have to graduate high school. So that might look like global citizenship or like critical thinking or math. And you're not given a letter grade, but you have to demonstrate your understanding of different skills within these like broader categories. And you present it. I mean, based on one model of doing this, you like go and present it to your school. And you're like, here, I think I learned this thing. Here is like what happened and like how I've applied it and like what I got out of it. Can this, like, what do you think? Like, does this count for credit? And they'll be like, yeah. Or they'll be like, no, but like, here's how you can go back and like refine that experience and maybe like add some things. And then you can maybe get the credit for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like, I wish that that's how things were in college too. I wish that's how things were in my classes. I imagine things without grades and I'm like, wow, like if I could like not worry about like all these stupid little details. Like if I could let me put it this way. The director of my program gave us advice at the start of this that said, and he said, fail fast. Like if you're building something, don't wait to test it.
Yeah.
Until you're at the final point.
Yep.
You should see if it works. Just try. Because then if you fail fast, then you know something, you know what's not going to work. But the thing is, it's so hard to implement that in like traditional school settings because it's like, well, okay, if I fail fast, I'm going to fail my first assignment.
Especially in some classes, you have like a midterm and then a final, and that's your entire grade.
Yes.
And if the fastest you can fail is failing the midterm, and that's 50% of your grade.
Yes. Yeah, that like, don't fail fast if you're in that situation. But it's like, it's super hard. And like, I am trying to adopt that, like, in some ways. Like, I'm getting more comfortable with like, just doing my best work. I like set time limits for how long I spend on a project, and I'm like, this is how long I'm spending on it. I'm gonna do my best, and then I'm just gonna turn it in. And it's been okay so far. My grades honestly aren't as high as they were in undergrad, but I also like don't care as much. Like I'm like, because I know the grades are not gonna like reflect fully my learning, so I don't care as much. But is that bad? I don't know. Anyway, failing is okay, and I really hope that we can eventually get to a world where like the systems that are around us, especially in schools, like actually reflect that sentiment.
I would love to do a whole episode. I've said this a couple of times, but episode on education systems. Yeah,
I want to talk about that too. I just don't want to talk about education in general. I want to talk about something specific.
Yeah. We'll find a little niche topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we always do.
Yes. We'll figure something out.
Your answer.
My answer. If I could decide... Oh, wait, that's not it. What's the most important thing that I had learned?
Most valuable.
The most valuable thing that I've learned in my life. The most valuable thing that I've learned in my life was that I could affect the world around me. I feel like I learned this like going into high school. And I realized that ironically we were just talking about grades. I realized that if I did work harder, then usually my grades would go up. And I was like, oh, because until that point, it just felt like I would just show up to school and, like, write some stuff and, like, try my best. And then, like, sometimes I would get a good grade and then sometimes I wouldn't. But usually it was fine. And I was never in danger of, like, being held back or anything.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, there's no correlation between effort and grades, so this is stupid. But then I realized that I could affect the world around me.
Well, yeah, I think... This is another thing that I'd like to mention if we talk about education. I think especially in, like, the lower grades, a lot of kids hit, like, a ceiling pretty early on.
Yeah.
I certainly did. And then when the ceiling is raised, the ceiling starts to raise pretty rapidly when you get into, like, high school and, like, college. And then it's like, well... all this time, I think I thought I was doing exceptional.
Yeah.
And now I'm, like, average or below average.
Yeah, and I think that's... I mean, my experience, like... we should definitely, like, do another episode on this.
Yeah.
But, like, my experience, like, going into... being in elementary school, I was a really strong reader and writer. I would just write stories. I would just get home from school, and I would, like, write a story. In my adult life, I've never once gotten home from work and been like, I'm gonna write a story.
Children are amazing.
I make dinner and I binge watch Netflix like any other reasonable adult human living in the U.S.
Children are amazing.
Yeah, but it's like I wasn't given opportunities in school to like really hone those skills. So I got bored, got like disengaged from school, and then spent my like, I would say from like 4th to like 8th grade just like really disengaged. Like real like disengaged. Like I like did not care about school. Like I was like, all right, I guess if I show up and like do the things, then like I get to like eventually graduate high school. So okay. But yeah, no. I was like not happy in school. I didn't feel like I was really like learning much at all. Yeah.
So that your actions can affect the world around you.
Yes. So that was not true, not just in school, but also like I realized that I could like apply myself and like learn new things. Like I got really into music in high school. I had been taking piano lessons for a while, but I like started to actually practice and like get better. And yeah, I just like ended up like I feel like I had like a really high sense of like agency in my life at that point.
Cool.
Now of course I'm like, oh, like it's one thing to learn like I can affect the world around me, but then you get to a second point in your adult life where you're like, oh shit, I can't affect everything. Might as well just give up. So that's that's fun. But yeah, I think it was more important for me to learn the first lesson than the second. You know? Yeah.
Shall we move on to our super secret curated questions?
Yes, let's do it. Hi. Okay, you're not gonna like mine because it's mean.
Oh, fun.
Okay, here's my question for you. Page 117, question 3. If you could eliminate one habit that your mate has, what would you have them stop doing?
You picked a question about you.
Yes.
Habit?
Yeah, I'll answer this one for you too. Yeah, like habit. Like it can't be like stop having anxiety. That's not a habit, that's a lifestyle.
Oh man. Habit.
I think it could be something like mental health related if you want, but it has to be something like small. Like it can't be like a big, it has to be a habit, not a pattern, if that makes sense. Not like a theme.
I see. Oh gosh, what can I say that's like not TMI and not mean and like not. I don't know.
I told you weren't gonna like this one.
A habit. Stop whining when we have to get up early and you don't want to get out of bed.
I am appalled. As somebody who is tired 24/7, I feel that I have a right to complain about it.
Okay, so like if we need to get up early and go somewhere, I am very quick in the morning to resign myself because I like to rip off the Band-Aid, get out of bed and be like, okay, I'm up.
Yeah.
I want to do this. And then you're like, ugh. And it takes you like 20 minutes of convincing you to get out of bed.
It does. This happened on the day that we were supposed to drive down to Pittsburgh. Colin got out of bed. We got up at like, what was it, like 5 o'clock in the morning?
Something like that.
Maybe even a little earlier.
Out.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an unreasonable hour to get up. I think it was actually before 5 o'clock. I think we got up at like 4:30.
We wanted to get to the city fairly early.
Yeah, we had to get gas and like make sure everything was good to go and get the last of our stuff in the car.
Oh my god, that was such a crazy day.
It was, but I remember our alarm went off and you got up and you were like, okay, like today's the big day, let's go. And I was like, no, like, you go. I'll stay here.
Go to Pittsburgh.
And you were like, nope, we're doing this together. And I was like, I was not happy. Okay, so you're telling me to stop?
Well, I'm saying that's the answer to the question.
If you could stop one thing.
Not saying that you don't have you can stop if you want to.
I don't think I can. We just talked about how I learned that I have control over some things in my life but not others. This is one thing I cannot control. I am doomed to like not have an easy time getting out of bed.
Alright, you have to answer the question now for me.
Okay. If I had to change one habit? One habit?
What are my habits?
One habit?
Habit.
A habit?
Habit.
I don't know. What is a habit? A habit?
Just something A habit's like something you do, you know?
Something you do.
like repeatedly.
I don't
it's
know
not
if you
always...
do anything that's like super annoying, and I don't want to go back to like you like checking your calendar and stuff because I already talked about that.
I don't know.
Okay, I can't be mean.
You can be mean.
Really?
Not too mean.
Oh no, it's not that mean.
Sure. I was a little mean with the getting out of bed thing.
Okay.
You can be that mean.
Okay. I hope this is the exact same amount of mean that you just were to me. I wish that you would not spontaneously beatbox when I'm like trying to get something done. Like we'll be like ordering DoorDash and I'll be like, okay, we have to like order food quick and I like have to get back to my work. And you'll just be like sitting at my desk for like 5 minutes, which I guess is a reasonable amount of time. But I'll be like, okay, like what do you want? And you'll just be like,
that's my thinking noises.
But to me, it just looks like you're like idling.
No, I'm
looks
thinking.
Like you're stalling
that
out.
Is the sound of the gears turning in my beautiful little brain.
Okay, was that the same amount of?
Yes.
Also, sometimes I think it's cute. Sometimes I think it's like funny. But like when I'm like trying to get something done, I'm like.
I feel the same way about you not getting out of bed. Like, oh, Winter's sleepy. But at the same time, I'm like, I need to leave.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, what was your question? Sorry to put both of us on the spot like that.
Oh my god.
I just couldn't resist. It was so juicy.
The nature of the question.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Okay, I have a good one.
Okay.
I don't need the book. I've written it down.
Oh, well, aren't you fancy?
And called me a coward for writing it down on my phone.
Yes, our show notes, well, our planning notes for this are my question, beautifully written down with page number and what question number is on the page. And then for Colin's question, and I quote, it says, hiding on Colin's phone like a coward.
Well, see, I saw page 117, question 3 in our notes, and I'm like, oh, now I'm tempted to go look at it. But I didn't even tell you which page it is on. So now you can never know unless you steal my phone.
I could just go through the book and find.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know which question it was.
What?
Because I have it on my phone. You wouldn't, even if you looked through the whole book, you wouldn't know what question I'm about to ask you.
Oh, right now?
Right now.
Right, yeah, but I don't care.
Anyway. You can see how differently men and Winter's brains work. Getting a deep dive into our psyches tonight.
I guess that's what this podcast is.
It is.
We can call it a deep dive into our psyche.
That's not what we're calling the episode.
No, I think we should call it that.
If ... What's
the question? Tell me.
If you could ensure that your child has one experience that you have had yourself,
oh my gosh,
what would it be?
One experience that I've had myself?
Yep. That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah. That's tough, because I already am thinking of like 12. Man.
And they might have other experiences that you have, but
right.
you could ensure...
I could ensure that they would have this experience.
Mm-hmm.
Falling in love.
That's a good answer.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot else that I could, like, set up really well as a parent, you know? Like, I could, like, help them, like, be kind and, like, help them, like, meet new friends and stuff when they're little. And I can, like, help them be good in school, and I can help them be independent and figure out what they want to do with their life. But I can't help them, like, fall in love with somebody, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's such a wonderful experience that I would want them to have.
I almost feel like falling in love is a little bit of a given, though. I mean, maybe not for every single person in the world, but,
okay,
like...
by falling in love, I mean, like... I don't just mean them falling in love with somebody, but them and somebody else falling in love together.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
And I also mean, like genuine, like, care for each other. Like, I think that it might be a given to, like, experience infatuation with somebody and get into a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would want for my child to experience is, like, really, like, experiencing, like, getting to know somebody and experiencing, like the development of love and care, where somebody else is experiencing that for them as well. Like, truly. And I think that's something that is easier to experience as an adult. So even more out of my control, you know?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know if it's easier to fall in love as an adult or as, like, a young person.
No, I just mean, like, in terms of, like, being able to, like, experience, like, a healthy, like, falling in love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as, like, a teenager, I mean... I think that I experienced something like that.
I don't remember who had said it, but I think I like the saying that as you grow older, love becomes less intense but more deep.
That was my high school philosophy teacher.
Yeah, you told me that, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's so incredible.
We were looking at, like, philosophical ideas on love, and I went on this whole rant about how, like, I went on this whole rant about my high school sweetheart, and how I was like, love is real. Like, love is real because I feel it, you know? Mm-hmm. And, like, that was my whole argument, and he was like, thank you for sharing this. Well, first of all, I should explain, like, we did these, like self-reflection papers to, like, connect what we were learning back to, like, our own lives and stuff, and that was, like, part of the class. And I remember he wrote, like, thank you for sharing this with me. Like, I remember being your age and, like, love was so intense.
Yes.
As I've gotten older and, like been with my wife for however long, I've found that love becomes less intense but more deep. And he was like, I don't know if that's better or worse, but it's just different.
It's different, you know? Yeah. And I've even experienced that to some degree. I mean... since being a teenager.
Right, yeah.
And, like, it's already become less intense but more deep.
Yeah.
Because it's so intense.
It's so intense when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's wonderful.
It is.
That's not to put teenagers down either.
It's an important experience.
It's an important experience. You gotta have it. Mm-hmm. You gotta have it.
Yeah. So my turn to answer the question, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think I have a fun story for this one. And I don't think I've told this story on the podcast, and I don't even know if I've told this story to you. But when I was going into 10th grade, the summer before then, I had the opportunity to go on a little trip. I was like 12 or 13 years old, and I was recommended by my teacher, or like, my teacher recommended me for this event to some organization. It was called Lead America. Mm-hmm. And it was the Lead America Medical Conference at Johns Hopkins University.
Right.
And this was for like aspiring medical students, because I used to want to go to medical school. And what it was is like all these like younger high school students came from all over the country and stayed for like a week and a half at the university.
Wow.
And during this time, we listened to like lectures from like really acclaimed doctors. We took like tours of different hospitals. We did like, we split up into like groups of 10 that we stayed with for the entire time, and like worked on some projects together.
That sounds fun.
It was an amazing experience.
Nice.
And it was the first time that I had been on my own away from my family for that long.
How old were you?
I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And I was with my peers.
Yeah.
And we had adult supervision,
Of course.
and we were safe the whole time. But it was incredible, and I'm not saying I want them my child specifically to go to like a medical thing, but just for them to have the opportunity to go away somewhere and experience what it's like to just be in a completely different place, be away from your family, away from people you know, in a safe, protected space, and the friends and the relationships that I like formed there. It was amazing.
I'll bet.
It was actually like quite emotionally intense for me. And I was leaving the school in between 9th and 10th grade. This was the summer in between 9th and 10th grade. I was leaving the school that I was going to go to a different school that year. And I didn't have very many friends at my old high school, and the few friends that I did have, I was leaving behind. So I was like, okay, I am gonna need some like, this is like a primer for me on making new friends. So it was really just like a perfect time to just reinvent like who I was.
Yeah.
And it just was really great for me. I remember what was great about it too, or bittersweet rather, was towards the end of it, on the final day, everybody was like catching their different like shuttles back to like the airport. We all had like flights at different times.
Did you fly by yourself too?
Yeah, I flew by. Well, I went down. I rode the train down to Baltimore with my dad, and he stayed the night with me, and we went out to dinner the night before the whole thing, which was also really pleasant. And then in the morning he left, dropped me off at the university. And then I flew back home by myself, which was also a first for me.
Right.
But like one by one, my little friend group was like parting and like going their separate ways, and we all had really like very emotional goodbyes. And I was like trying the whole day not to like get really sad. And then this one girl who I had become super close with during the trip, we were kind of crushing on each other just a little bit. she was like the last. We were like the last two in the group.
Oh, yeah.
And we rode the shuttle to the airport together.
Oh, my goodness.
And she like came to the gate with me.
Aww.
And I like I had like the classic like getting on the plane gate, waving to her as I was going away, and then I like cried for like 20 minutes on the plane, like with a complete stranger next to me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, that was just a little story.
Oh my gosh.
From my past, but just if I could. It was such like an important formative time in my life.
Yeah.
To have that experience.
Yeah.
And I would love for that. I would love something for that for my child.
Yeah.
Because like, I was pretty privileged to have that kind of experience.
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
Oh well, that was a bit of a story time there from Colin.
Yeah, but I think this has been a kind of a whole episode of story times.
Yeah.
And we're at an hour and a half.
Yeah, this has been a lengthy, maybe not so focused episode.
Well, hey, we didn't come here with the intent to be focused. We had a 2-bullet outline, one of which include the word coward.
I love that last episode we were like, we are the most prepared we have ever been for an episode of the Moonflower Show. And then this time we were like, yeah, we got 2 bullet points.
Yeah.
We're reading from a book.
I think that we're allowed to have like 2 sides as like a podcast.
Of course. Like I've said this in the past, like both are important. The structured discussions and the goofy episodes.
Yeah. Because this is supposed to be about sleepover conversations. Mm-hmm. And you need both goofy and you need like deep like analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the Moonflower is all about. Moonflower Show, rather.
Yeah.
It's sometime.
All right. Well, we will catch you in the next episode, Little Moonflowers. And I hope that you have a good day or a good night or whatever is in front of you right now.
Mwah.
Good night. Bye-bye.